Jim. Hi, Jim. How are you? Can we start? Good morning, everybody. It's with great excitement introduce you to Pat Shurmur as the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. When we started the process a couple weeks ago, we told you how we were going to conduct business. I trust that we've been fair about that with you. And we narrowed it down to three candidates, Pat and Mike Malarkey and Perry Fuel. And I talked to both Mike and Perry yesterday, thanked them for their involvement. Classy guys, good coaches. It's my belief that they'll be head coaches in this league. And but Pat emerged as the one that we think is the best man to take the Cleveland Browns where we hope to go. So today is his day. It's not so much about Tom and me. We're kind of window dressing up here. So Pat Shurmur, new head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you, Coach. This is obviously a great day in our lives. As coaches, as educators, as teachers, you dream of the opportunity to be a part of an organization such as this and then be able to provide the vision for a team with such great tradition. And so that being said, I'd like to, a couple of thank yous. Obviously, Mr. Lerner, President Holmgren, GM Tom Heckert. I'd like to thank Steve Spagnola, the people in St. Louis. My 2 years there have been tremendous. I'd also like to thank Andy Reid and the Philadelphia Eagles. That was my introduction to pro football, and I learned it from a man who learned it from this guy. And so I think that helped build this collective view of how to win. And so I'd like to thank them. Our years there were invaluable. I also like to thank my wife Jennifer, who's here today. We've been friends now for over 25 years, and we're partners in this thing, as well as our 4 kids who are home anxiously awaiting everything that's happening. We are a family. I am a father. I'm a husband, and we cannot wait to get to Cleveland and become part of this community. Born and raised in the Detroit area, and I know what this region's all about. I understand the thirst for winning. I think we have a collective view of how to get it done, and we can't wait to get to work and start that process. As I said, I'm thrilled to be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and I cannot wait to basically get off of this podium, this dais, and get to the task of assembling the staff that we're going to all be proud of, and then get to the point where we can work with the players. There's a lot of outstanding people in the building, and I'm now one of those that can help push us forward. So there's a lot of things I'd like to say. I do know this. As you talk about our team and the goals for this team, it's very simple. We're trying to win football games. Our goal is to win the AFC North, to compete in the playoffs and win Super Bowls. Anything we talk about that doesn't relate to winning, then I think we're getting ourselves distracted. And we will make all our decisions based on winning. And so that'll start, and it's actually started already, this process, as of yesterday. So with that being said, there's a great amount of excitement. I probably have not touched on near the amount of topics that you're going to have questions about. So that being said, let's open it up for questions.
Tom Witherson, Associated Press, welcome. What do you know that you're inheriting team-wise here?
Well, the any of the details, again, that'll be a process that we actually started yesterday, and as we move forward, we're going to do the very best we can to build the very best team we can and win games and championships.
If I could What kind of advantage do you think in the background that you have with Tom and also with Mike to a certain degree?
Well, I think the relationship that I have with Tom and Coach Holmgren is part of the strength of this, what we're going to embark on. I think we have a collective view, as I said, of what it takes to win in this league, and we'll be able to put that into play.
I'm Joe from the News Herald. So welcome here, Pat.
Thank you.
You did so well with Donovan McNabb and Bradford. How, as a head coach, will you be able to be hands-on with Colt McCoy?
The quarterback in this league is so important, and we had a structure that I learned under where the head coach, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach, and then ultimately the quarterback, there was a lot of communication, but we found a way to get on the same page, to work with those players to do the very best that they could on Sunday. And so I would anticipate the vision for this football team will be seen through the eyes of the quarterback.
ESPN Cleveland back here. Welcome. Will you call your own plays? You're the offensive coordinator there at St. Louis. You're becoming a head coach for the first time. So, double duty. Will you do that? And what about hiring your coordinators? Will you have final say on that?
Yeah, the question of calling plays, yes. Initially, I will start out by calling the plays. I think that's an important piece. I do think, and that really is the fun part for an offensive coach to be able to do that. Now, I will say this, in terms of hiring the coordinators, the staff in general, now that's an ongoing process, and so we're actively pursuing the guys that we want to come to Cleveland and help us get this thing done. So we are in the process right now of doing that.
Bishop, ESPN Cleveland.
Sure.
And Coach, you may want to jump on this too. Mike talked about you having the necessary qualities to be the head coach. Love the comment about winning. That's what it's all about. We keep score. Either coach or you, what are some of these other necessary qualities that you do have?
He could tell you, but he's a modest guy. He is very bright, hardworking, a team player. He served his, I would say, apprenticeship to get to this point as a longtime college assistant coach and professional coach. And then he has coordinated the last couple of years, so he's been able to talk to the whole, or half the team, certainly a good portion of the time. And plus, I like his personality. I mean, he's a good man. Clearly, he's got a wonderful wife, wonderful family. He's a good person, and he's a dedicated football coach. He had all the characteristics that we kind of listed prior to this search. And Pat won't talk about that so much, but I'm happy to talk about it. We have a good man here. We're very fortunate.